And this, ladies and gentlemen, is how you do a chosen one theme. Hi guys, this is Tori. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a review of Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I am a huge fan of Brandon Sanderson's Mistborn trilogy, and up to this point, I know I'm late to the party, don't eat me. I literally haven't read anything else by him. I tried reading Elantris a couple of times and it just wasn't my cup of tea. I finally bought it at the bookstore about a week ago and I dived right in, and you guys, I honestly had no idea what to expect when I got into this book, other than it was going to be sci-fi and it was going to be Brandon Sanderson-esque. Now, just to let you know, I'm not going to be giving any major spoilers in the beginning of this video. I'm going to give an overview of my opinions of this book, and then later on in the video, for those who want to keep watching, I will talk about some actual scenes from the book. So if you want to skip that part, just watch for me telling you to stop watching the video, and you'll be good. I just finished reading this book this morning, and I'm honestly still in the puppy love stage, so I'm gonna try really hard not to gush about this too much. Chosen one themes are some of my least favorite tropes. I get so irritated with them so quickly when you have the character who's just the axis upon which the world spins because he or she is special. Those get old for me really, really quickly. So when I first started Skyward and it became clear to me that there was a chance, a pretty strong chance, that Spensa, our main character, was going to fit into that chosen one kind of archetype, I was extremely nervous, but I was trusting in Brandon Sanderson's ability not to get tropey with it. Brief overview of the book. This book follows the story of Spensa, who is a girl living on a far-off planet where the last, as far as we know, the last of humankind is kind of being pinned down by this alien race, and they are constantly looking for new pilots to come into their flight program to help fight off the Krell, who are the alien race that's fighting against them. Spensa is the daughter of a man who's been labeled as a coward, and she is trying as everything she can to beat that expectation of her to follow in her father's footsteps. What I love so much about Spensa's character is she is a flawed heroine. She has an extremely dynamic character arc throughout the book, which I absolutely loved. I was just so excited to see a heroine who makes bad decisions and has consequences for them, and who slowly starts to develop her character and realize what her flaws are and how she needs to fix them. There was nothing coming out of nowhere that just fixed all her problems for no reason. The comic elements that Brandon Sanderson wove into this book throughout the dialogue and through some of the side characters were so refreshing. They were hilarious without being overly cheesy. There weren't any relationships in this book that felt forced or unrealistic to me. I really appreciated Jorgen, who's a character that Spensa runs into a little bit later, and he immediately struck me as the type of guy who could have turned into a bad boy trope really, really easily, but Sanderson did a great job with his character, and he ended up being one of my absolute favorite characters in the whole book. Spensa is the first heroine I've read in a long time that has a serious attitude problem in the beginning that I didn't actually hate. Sanderson did a great job of explaining her motives and explaining where her head was at and showing the consequences that she had when she made stupid decisions. Mbot is a fabulous character. That is all. I also loved the character of Cobb as an archetypal mentor-style character. You could tell he was really weighed down by his past experiences and also by the tenuous relationship that he had with his students. Also, one of my number one things is combat descriptions in any kind of book, and I don't care if it's aerial combat, hand-to-hand combat, whatever, naval combat, whatever kind of combat it is, I'm super picky about how it's described in books. And Sanderson's descriptions of aerial combat in this book were so well done. So well done. I was literally raised on World War II, World War I fighter pilot stories by my grandfather, so for me it's gotta be really vivid, really interesting, and really well described. Sanderson provided all of that, and I was incredibly impressed. All around, I absolutely loved this book. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads if you want to read the rest of basically what I just said, but in written form. And now, if you're watching this and you don't want to hear any spoilers whatsoever for this book, stop watching. In the spoiler section, can I just say that Doomslug the Destroyer is one of my favorite things ever. She's amazing, she's an incredible little character, and every time she was in a scene, it just made me laugh. I literally only have 3 tabs in this book because I was so invested in this story that I didn't even remember to put notes in. One of the scenes that really stood out to me was the scene where Spensa and Jorgen have their like full reconciliation, and Spensa just grabs the front of his flight suit and puts her face against his chest, and she's so frustrated, and Jorgen has told her like, you can come to me with anything because I'm your flight leader, and now he's actually having to make good on that promise, and he's really awkward about it, but he's trying his best. I loved that Brandon Sanderson kept surprising me. You know, the whole scene where Spensa comes in and she thinks like, oh, obviously I'm gonna be a flight leader because I know everything. And Cobb totally puts her in her place and is like, no, you're not gonna be a flight leader. You've not even been in a plane yet. And just, that was such a beautiful thing because that was the type of chosen one archetype that I was looking to get away from, where people just get things because Spensa didn't earn it and so she didn't get it. What? I won't lie, I am still a little curious to see, and I'm sure there's going to be more of this in book 2, kind of more explanation of Spensa's gift, because I felt like we spent so much time on the actual physical flight element of this story that and Spensa doesn't really know that much about even that it is a gift until the very end of the book. So I'm really interested to see how he pulls that into book 2, which I just ordered from Amazon because I have to know what happens. I also love that her friend Rig, that she's known for ages and ages, wasn't a love interest, that Jorgen, like, it's a possibility that he could be a love interest later on, but that wasn't the focus of their relationships, and I just loved that. I love platonic boy-girl relationships so much because I really feel like there's not enough of that. There were a couple of times where the other girls got really frustrated with Spensa or didn't talk to her because they were afraid of her image, but honestly it all made sense, and in the end there was reconciliation and it was just beautiful. So that's essentially what I wanted to say about this book. If you are looking for a science fiction YA book that will just bring you lovable characters and a really fast-paced plotline with really interesting world-building elements and some superior aerial combat scenes, this is definitely the book for you. If you've read this book and you'd like to share your experience with it, please comment down below with proper spoiler alerts for the people on the channel who maybe haven't read it before. And thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next video.